Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of New Releases. Today, I'm very excited to be joined once again by the incredible composer Olga Thomas. Hello, Olga.
Hello, Natasha. Delighted to be back.
I love speaking with you, so I'm so happy that you're here again.
Absolutely reciprocal. Totally love it.
And
Looking
we're the
forward.
matching ladies in red today.
Again, two ladies in red. Huh? Yeah.
I love it. So today we're here to discuss your wonderful new release. So you have the platinum record Jubilee Anthem coming out.
Yeah.
Um, so this is an incredible project, and we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But I'm sure most of our viewers already know you and are familiar with you. But if they don't, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and describe your sound a bit?
Thank you very much. Well, I'm Olga Thomas. I'm a classical composer, and I am mostly known for writing private musical gifts for the royal household to commemorate the most important events in the life of the royal family and all the members. So, in the past, I got album Jubilation, which was comprising most of my royal pieces written by that date. And since then, since the release of Jubilation, which was for Her Majesty's 90th birthday, um, since then I kept doing it. So I have a new group of pieces, and for that reason, I'm going to release very soon, I think in May, another album, which will be comprising all my royal pieces up to now, and it will be called Platinum Jubilee Celebration with Olga Thomas. So I will maybe have a chance to talk to you again about
Yes.
it. Then I just want to announce that it will be coming very soon, and I think it will be open for maybe pre-order pretty soon again. Yeah, and I think will be released in May. So I uh, composed quite a lot of pieces for Her Majesty for different events, and some of them, like Royal Platinum Love Song, got #1 in the classical charts, been performed by wonderful Joanna Forrest and Daniel Cook. Since then, I had few more classical #1 charts, and it is always absolutely wonderful when you feel that achievement, because it really shows you that people love your release, people love your music, because whatever we are, the judges and jury are our audience, and whatever they give us, wherever they put us, it shows how well we have done. So #1, it is always a great achievement, and I'm delighted that it happened. All of them were done with wonderful Joanna Forrest, who worked for Classical Crossover magazine as well.
Yes.
Many talents, having her own radio station. Yeah, it was absolutely wonderful. So that I would say, yeah, I'm resident composer for Cruise Bereavement Care, wonderful charity, and Her Majesty is the royal patron, and all my pieces, which I composed for the royal family, the proceeds from sales 100% donated to the charity. A lot of pieces, it is for Cruise Bereavement Care, but some of them, like Jubilation album, which was recorded by the Royal Marines Band, also was split between Cruise Bereavement Care and Royal Navy, Royal Marines Charity. And it gives me great satisfaction, the knowledge that that is a real legacy which I'm going to leave. So through my work for writing for the royal family, I was approached by the organization, a wonderful educational organization, the Monarchist Society, and the founder of the society, Thomas Mace Archer Mills, the founder of the society and the person who actually became a visionary of the project, which we're going to talk about, this Jubilee Anthem. We're now switched from my album and moving to our next release, which will be next week, a Jubilee Anthem. Yes, so Thomas approached me and asked me to become an art patron of the Monarchist Society. And I was delighted and honored to take this position. And then it was his idea. He's, as I said, a visionary, and the idea of the project, which would be really very comprehensive and which will combine two different tracks, and single, which I know it happens, but it really needs a person who has a vision, if you know what I mean. So it is a vision, and he thought that it is a great idea to celebrate fantastic milestone of, for Her Majesty 70 years, to celebrate it with a single, which will consist of two pieces to show different angles. First one, for which I am a composer, called The Four British Nations. It is a classical piece in a style of, I would say, pomp circumstance theme.
Yes.
Classical, which recreates image of the coronation, and Thomas did lyrics for that, words. It is a piece which has a slow and faster march and chants by Regina Elizabetha, arranged by Thomas. And another piece, second piece, which is very much complementing the first, together it creates a real project, two pieces, absolutely equally important and complementing each other, is composed by Anton van der Meer, who is composer, songwriter, producer, and he's also a lyricist for second piece, along with Thomas, and he's a producer, he's many things, and a Renaissance man, So with Thomas, that is fantastic piece as a world journey to show Commonwealth and bring sounds of all this fantastic, Maori and African, Indian, and it just and Celtic. It's just so special. You travel through the Commonwealth to show how much Her Majesty is loved all over the world. It's a global journey, which they created beautifully. On both tracks, on mine and on Anton's track, we have the same fantastic performers, which is our national treasure, Leslie Garrett.
Yes.
London Community Gospel Choir, and our wonderful Rodney Earl Clark. I always want to say Earl Rodney because he's very wrong. But well, I have to make sure. Rodney Earl Clark. And I tell you one secret, that between us, that we call Rodney always Mr. Cool. I'm so sorry he's not Mr. Cool. And then I thought, and who will be Leslie then? And I thought she will be Mrs. Hot.
I love your code names. That's awesome. So we've talked before, and you get inspiration from anything. You told us, one of your famous pieces, it was from driving. And then you said, for this piece that you were commissioned. So how does that work? Had you already started to think about, Her Majesty's birthday and you already had ideas? Or was it, once you met with Thomas that you started putting together?
I would say it's interesting that we were very much like-minded with Thomas. He brought me in the project while he already had second piece. And it was his idea to bring actually English style, traditional British, the four British nations. What I mean, like traditional state music, pomp circumstance. Right? Yeah. Second piece is much more crossover music theater. It's absolutely lovely. And together it works well, brilliantly. They are two separate pieces, but together like two sides of the story. Thomas decided to tell the story. And if I was doing it myself, like I always have an inspiration, I would have done for the Jubilee, that sort of music, traditional state music, which I am very used to, like I do for the Wolverines, which could be, yes, I think most of my jubilation pieces are in that style. And when Thomas had an idea to to do two pieces, and he suggested to join forces while I was thinking about doing usual piece for celebration of jubilation, my next single to release with my new album. But Thomas came and suggested, why don't you join forces, then you do the first piece, which will be a start of coronation. We recreate the image of coronation and then world journey. And I thought it was absolutely great idea. So Thomas had very clear idea what he wanted. And I must say that it was very easy for me to understand because we were thinking alike. He is a royal expert and he rightly had a right idea what the piece should be. And for me, that is what I would have done. That was my day. Thanks to Thomas, it was with the words "Vivat Regina Elisabetha," because I would have done instrumental piece, but it was his idea to actually recreate the image of the coronation. And he suggested, he told me he wants to have, slow march, chant, trumpet. So he had pretty clear ideas, and they were very much in harmony with what I would have wanted. And what I really love his idea to have that second piece with the world journey, because that is just a great conception, and it shows all the diversity of different places, countries. It's really, you feel like you're on an amazing journey of the, through the countries where Her Majesty is loved so much and admired, and what could be better for the celebration. So we agreed on the ideas. Once we even met up at a beautiful place where we will have the launch of the event next week, which will be at Rubens at the Palace Hotel, just opposite the Buckingham Palace. Fantastic place, beautiful, so appropriate, brilliant. And I played for Thomas on the piano, and it was a very special experience. And I was telling it will be this, and he was sitting next to me and discussing it. It was great. So it was very, very helpful, and he really had a great vision, which I totally felt comfortable with. So that's how it happened, and that's how I followed it.
And how nice after, having to do everything remote to be able to meet in person. Yeah.
Very unusual experience. And first few months we were talking, I think, over the phone only, and a couple of times maybe on Zoom, but then we met in person. It was quite an experience to play, on the piano and have him listening and discuss face to face, even without mask.
I know, it's so awesome. And then tell us, so I assume that you got to record everything together with the orchestra. What was that experience like going back in the studio?
That was absolutely amazing. We had two different studios because pieces are so different that the recording, first few days, the recording was at the studio of the London Community Gospel Choir, which are absolutely amazing. A lot of people, very special. And I tell you about them, how I would describe the experience dealing with them and listening to them. Somehow, because they are so spiritual, like nobody else, they deliver the soul of the music, the words, they deliver it actually to your heart on very, very different, special, on on a level which is much more magical, I would say, because it just, yeah. So I'm delighted that we worked with them. And first few days were in their studio where they were recording second piece with Thank You from Our Heart, because second piece is much more vocal.
Okay.
And there Leslie and Rodney and the choir. So I think about 2-3 days it was the recording there at the studio of the London Community Gospel Choir. And then Robert Emery separately, who was my producer. So we have two different producers. Everything is different, except that we are two parts of the same, because we're different, but we are the same. Yeah, we're under the same project, and that is beautiful. So, but we had different producers. So for my piece, then we had another day. Robert Emery recorded the musicians separately, and then we traveled with Leslie and Rodney to Cambridge, where in the studio of fantastic Robert Emery, we recorded my piece, and we were doing vocals. So Leslie and Rodney came to the vocals, because by then Robert made sure that everything is recorded and edited, all the part of the orchestra. So that was lovely.
So it was orchestra, then vocals, and then you did your piano after, or
I don't have piano for the piece.
okay.
I will, because piano is not um, in any of the two pieces. It's all instrumental. But I mean, in my case, it is orchestra. In Anton's case, there are instruments which are appropriate for these Commonwealth traditional instruments, which is wonderful. And in my piece, so Robert had everything done and recording because of COVID. Robert actually asked us all to wear masks. So except when they were singing, it wouldn't be working with us. But we all, while we were listening, when we were not, when they were not actually recording, when we were talking, everything was through the masks. And with the mask, so that's why it would have been difficult to do an orchestra, all of them. With
Yeah.
us being present, with Leslie, with Rodney, it would have been not advisable with the masks and still restrictions. They were pretty strict on it.
Okay. But so now the single comes out April 21st, which I think, is that a Friday?
It is Thursday, Natasha.
Okay.
Come on Friday. You're absolutely right. All the releases are coming on Friday, but because of Her Majesty's birthday is on the 21st, and it has to coincide. It will be released on the 21st, but it's my first time ever to have an experience when it is not released on Friday. Would be interesting, but my understanding is, if I'm not wrong, that it will enter the charts. It will be possible to download and buy on the 21st, but it will enter the charts, and we will see what's going on Friday, because
Okay.
charts are updated on Friday. But all this actually downloading and buying, now it is available for pre-order. So now everybody can pre-order it, and I do hope people do a lot of
yes.
Yes, we do hope. So please, whoever hasn't done it, please pre-order. Yes, it is on all music platforms, and you can get all the information, and there is a special website which is where you can get it. You can get to the website. Let me
Well,
try.
we'll link to it on the screen. I'll put a screen up, and then in the description. I saw it earlier. I don't remember the address just now, but I remember going to that website. So I'll make sure we link to it.
Okay, it is the Jubilee Anthem 22.com. I just want to make sure that I give absolutely correct, the Jubilee Anthem 22.com. So there you can get all the information, but it is available to pre-order at the moment. Pre-save pre-order, and on that site, and on there are all the links, like they call it now smart links, when you can pre-save pre-order. But from Thursday the 21st, you can actually download it stream from all music platforms, and I do hope people will do it.
Yes, so everyone please do so.
Yes, it is a good piece. I really can say it is a very special piece.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to hear the full version. You sent me a link to it, so I got to hear it a little bit early, and it's absolutely beautiful. So yes, everyone please go support that. We'll add it to our playlist as well. And Olga, I have a question for you. So, you've achieved, like you mentioned, you've gone to #1 before, you've written all these wonderful pieces. So do you have any little bits of advice you can share for other musicians who are trying to release music?
Yes, of course. It is tough business, isn't it?
Yeah.
And not a cheap business. But my advice, as strange as it may sound, would be, please do not economize on the quality. Don't cut the corners on that. You can economize in a lot of things, but the quality comes out, and it is very obvious if it is not a good quality. So if you go for an orchestra, go for a good one. I was so lucky. Let's say I had Royal Marines bands, I had Robert Emery, and I never ever regret it. I would say it was the best investment because the result is absolutely striking and it makes huge difference. It's like if you do a picture with the colors, and colors are sort of faded, unless it is impressionism, of course. If you don't have enough funds, of course it happens, then find another version. Don't go for sort of not a good orchestra, go for something chamber. Have a, I don't know, fantastic evocative piano piece, and imagine that it is not a color, but it is a pencil, beautiful drawing. It can be fantastic and can be very intimate. So there are plenty of versions how to do. But if you go for something, do not economize, because this feeling of generic is always there. If so, be bold, be strong, invest, and it is worth it, because the result would be fantastic. And I did it with Robert Emery first time, and it seems to be, oh my God, can I do it? And then I thought, yes, I can. It was my first #1, and it brought me as a composer on a different level. I went on the world stage, I would say. That's what happened. It sort of catapulted me to the next level of the world stage. And because I was strong and brave and I didn't economize, and I never ever regretted in my life that for my first classical #1 Royal Platinum Love Song, written to celebrate Her Majesty's and Prince Philip wedding anniversary, 70th wedding anniversary, I never regretted that I invested a lot and had 72 pieces orchestra. So that was great. That would be sort of a little tip.
No, I think that's great, because I know from my experience, I just did it with piano, but I experienced what you did. I had to record it a couple times because I tried to economize and it sounded not good at all. So that is a really wonderful tip to make sure you're getting that quality and the team of people behind you. Yeah.
Yeah, that is very important, because we had absolutely fantastic performers, and it makes you think, oh my God, aren't we lucky? And that is the feeling, because when you have the result, then magic is made. And it is very, very almost tangible. You enter to the world of magic if you do not economize on the quality.
Well, I love that. Thank you so much for joining us, Olga. Everyone, please go out this Thursday. You can pre-order now. And everyone, this Thursday, make sure you get that piece. Listen to it. It's beautiful. Thank you, Olga, for being here.
Natasha, delighted to be here. Always here for you. Please keep me posted. Love being coming here.
Same. Anytime. Come back.